You've been shooting a little while and now you want to try your hand at action competition shooting. Well, the Canik TP9SFX, this is where you start. Coming up. Hey folks, welcome to 9mm Tuesday on Get on Target with Link. This is where we talk about guns, gear, and shooting with a little more depth than what we do on Thursdays. So today we're going to talk about getting into action shooting. Now, this is a channel for beginners, so this is not a pistol that's recommended for the beginner shooter. But if you've been shooting for a little while and decided that getting into action competition shooting is something that you want to try, this is where you start. The TP9SFX by Canik, it's not Canik. You don't say Peanut Neuer or Das Equus, do you? No. And this is a Canik. But this is a Turkish pistol imported by Century Arms that is specifically designed for competition. It's not a beginner shooter pistol. It's one that will have more applications than just competition. Coming with 20-round magazines, it's definitely applicable for home defense. Probably a little big for my taste for something that I'd want to conceal carry, but definitely designed specifically to get you started with competition shooting. Now we're going to do an unboxing. It's not really. I've had the gun out and I've had it to the range and I've put over 200 rounds through it already, without a failure, I might add. But we're going to unbox it for you anyway and see what you're going to get when you purchase your own new Canik TP9SFX. Let's take a look. The Canik is going to come in a beautiful case. It's really a good quality case. You can put locks on it and secure it for travel or around the house. But good quality case. When we slide the slides apart and we open it up, we're going to see that it's set up this way. In the top, it's going to have this foam mat. And when you take that down, one of the things that I kind of like about it is a small thing, but all your paperwork is tucked into this envelope here, so it's not just all over the case like it is in every other box that you open. It's controlled and sort of out of the way. You can access it if you need it, or like we're going to do now, get it out of the way. Now, the top of the case, you're going to see several accessories that make this very specifically adaptable to competition shooting. These plates go on the top of the slide and will adapt the TP9SFX to many of the best optics that are available for competition shooting. Lots of red dots, but these are specifically made for specific optics, so the attachment to the gun is effortless. They perfectly adapt to the gun. Here, what we're looking at is an additional back strap. So it's a little bit fatter than the one that comes on the gun, and so you can adapt it to your hand size. I've personally left the original one on. I don't really need it any fatter, but if you do, you got an option. You can tweak that as well. Also in the top, you have a bore brush and a swab pusher. And that's it on the top. Down below, we're going to get to the star of the show in a minute, but let's get through all of these accessories. Of course, you've got your trigger lock. It comes with two 20-round magazines. These are actually 18-round magazines with a 2-round extension. When you use these, they're flawless. They work absolutely flawlessly. They're made by Mekgar, and they make a terrific product. So faultless. However, IDPA competition, if you plan on using this gun for those, you're going to have to buy new magazines because these magazines are illegal in IDPA. They make the gun too large to fit in the box that your gun has to fit in order to be legal for IDPA. Now, in addition to the 2 magazines, this magazine is covered with a speed loader, and a lot of people have talked down about this. If you know once you get used to how to use it, there's really nothing wrong with it. If you don't have a magazine loader, it'll do the trick just fine and really help you out in getting this thing loaded up with 20 rounds. It gets a little tight toward the end. So this is not a bad accessory. You won't, if you have a good one, you probably won't use it very much, but if you don't have one at all, this works, and it makes your life a lot easier. Down here, you have a little toolkit, and that's really not, that's a misnomer. It's more of an accessory kit. And what's inside, actually, this is going to be more useful once we see the gun, but, well, let's do that. We're going to leave that to the side and introduce the star of the show. Now, one of the things that the Canik TP9SFX comes with is a holster. I'm here to tell you the holster isn't much. It's not something that you're probably going to use. It's going to probably gather dust once you get a holster that's more adapted to your use. It's not terrible. It holds the gun well. It'll hold it nice and firmly upside down. It's not going anywhere. You could get away with it in a pinch to get started with, but you're going to replace this pretty quickly. I'm fairly certain of that. It used to come with a little bit better holster that had a paddle on the back that was a little bit more usable for a starter competition type of pistol. This one is pretty useless, but hey, you get a free holster. What the heck, right? However, when we look at the weapon, what you'll see, one of the things I want to introduce the weapon quickly for, is that you're going to see that you have a fiber optic sight in the front. These are Warren tactical sights on the back. This is a great sight combo for a starter shooter in competition. Nothing to complain about here. In the toolkit, what you'll find is replacement fiber optics in both green and red. So if you have a preference one to the other, you'll be able to switch it out. If you do any damage to the one that you have, you can switch it out. So you've got some backups in there. It'll also come with this ambidextrous charging handle, which you can screw into the side of one of the plates for mounting your optics, but you can charge your handle with this, which will make it almost instantly illegal in any competition. So you probably won't really get much use out of this, but it's fun if you want to use it on the range. It really makes cycling the slide very, very easy. In addition to that, one of the things that makes this so great in competition is your magazine release. The mag release is huge. It's quite, you can see how far it sticks off the side of the gun. Very, very easy to get your hand on and to quickly get rid of the magazine in a tactical or timed reload. But if it's not big enough, you have options. The toolkit comes with 2 more mag release buttons in it that are in various sizes. So you can tune that to your preference as well. So that's what's in the so-called toolkit, more of an accessory kit. And there's a place for that in the box as well. So let's talk about the star of the show, shall we? So this is the Canik TP9SFX. This is unloaded and harmless right now. But This is undoubtedly the best value on a race gun or a out-of-the-box competition-ready pistol that's on the market today. It would be kind of hard to name a rival in today's marketplace. This is a very competition-specific design with many of the coveted aspects of a competition weapon at an incredibly affordable price. So I bought this at Cabela's, not because I wanted to, but because they had it. I went in there and I had been reading about this particular firearm for quite a while and was pretty impressed with what I'd read. And I walked into Cabela's with just kicking tires, and it was there in the case, and I was stunned. It looked fantastic. It wasn't over retail, but it was at retail at $549. That's what Century Arms offers it for. It was available at other places online for, I think, around $470, but was sold out everywhere else that I saw. And Cabela's would not match a sold out price. So I wound up paying the full price for it. But I'm here to say that this firearm at $549 is still a bargain, folks. It is an incredible value, hard to beat at $549 for what it's designed for competition. Competition guns are well over $1,000 to $2,000, and then it gets ludicrous from there. This is a place that you can get in at the price of a pretty typical good 9mm pistol. Now, here are some of the things that set it apart. These are Warren tactical sights with a fiber optic front sight that can be switched red or green. Excellent sights. The acquisition for me with this is pretty amazing, frankly. The rear sight is just flat black, but finding that is just pretty darn quick, I find, in practical application. That red dot right there is a cocked striker indicator. So when you see that red dot, you know that this is is ready to fire. Having it not there after pulling the trigger does not necessarily indicate an empty chamber. It says that the striker is not cocked. So don't mistake the two. Other things about this, you have the slide cuts here to make it ostensibly a little lighter slide. It's a pretty heavy slide, so it's modestly effective. I don't think that's but it makes the gun look like it's ready for business. The slide cuts are great. I have a really good purchase on it. So if I'm just doing a press check, doing a slide rack, I feel very confident, and I'm not going to slip. And in competition, of course, that's absolutely critical. The couple of things that really set this apart in a competition or pressure situation. I mentioned before that you have different magazine release buttons in the case, and you can change them out for your liking. It comes with the medium installed, and for me it's perfect, but it is pronounced. You can see here, you can see how far that sticks out from the side of the weapon. It's easy to find. My grip does not threaten that that magazine release. It seems to fit right into the web of my hand right there, and it's not I'm not at any risk of dropping my mag accidentally, but when I need to get to it, it is easy to get to. It's in exactly the right place for my thumb, and it shoots that magazine out. There's no mistaking that it's on the way. The other thing that's so useful is your slide release lever is, you can see it here, it's large, it's easy to, not super easy to activate, but it's easy enough, and it's large enough that releasing the slide after a reload it's just great. It's perfect for me. It also is a place that I can kind of rest my thumb, my strong hand thumb, and it's an index. It's an index that I can repeatedly find and ride, and that makes my grip more consistent, and a consistent grip is always a good thing. On the grip itself, the ridges on the back strap and on the front of the grip, for me, are perfect. They're just great. I just feel like they grip my hand and they're not going to let it go, and they're going to keep it in position. The stippling on the side of the grip is not terribly aggressive. It's pretty kind, and there are going to be plenty of people that are going to want something more aggressive on there. I like it personally, but I know a lot of people are going to use some grip tape or some upgrade to that to make it more aggressive for their liking. But I love it. The finish on the TP9, this is a Cerakote finish on the slide, and it's a tungsten color, and it makes this a two-toned firearm that's really attractive and kind of sets it apart at the range. It's a really, really attractive weapon. But the big star of all of the Jonics, not just this one, is the trigger. The trigger is, at this point now, it's world famous. People are singing the praises of the Jonik triggers all around the world at every level. I'm no different. I think they're incredible. The reported trigger pull on these is supposed to be around 3.5 to 4 pounds, and my testing, this one is first go around here, 4.1. That's heavy typically for what I've been testing on this. 4.0. Sorry, there you go. You can see it there. And we'll do another. That's what I more typically find. 3.8, 3.9. We'll do one more and see if it stays consistent around there. But that's been what I've been seeing. Well, this one came out at 2.26, so we'll call that an outlier, and we'll try it one more time. Right at 3.0. So between 3.5, something like that, pounds. That is a competition grade trigger by anybody's standard. Best trigger I own, I'll put it that way. I don't have vast numbers of firearms in my collection, but this one definitely leads the pack. So that's the Canik TP9SFX. Best gateway firearm for competition shooters. Don't forget, you don't need a race gun to get into particularly IDPA. IDPA is all about recreating real-world situations in a competition framework. So any of the 9mm that you may have, 9mm or above, will be able to be applicable for IDPA shooting. This is your first entryway into a true competition firearm that will make sure that the gun that you're using in those competitions is not the obstacle that you have to overcome to do the best that you can do. I'm doing this review because I'm about to take my first step into IDPA and embarrass myself thoroughly for your enjoyment. I hope you'll tune in for that when that comes up. It's coming up very soon. So I wanted to introduce the gun that's going to make that happen for me. And I'm excited to get started with this, to try it out and to see how bad I really am, and to share that with you. So I hope you are looking forward to that like I am. I hope you tune in when I take my maiden voyage into IDPA competition. It should be pretty funny. I have no experience whatsoever. It's going to be the first time I've ever competed. Well, it's since 22 rifles in high school, but that's a long time ago. But this will be the first competition with pistols that I've ever participated in, and it should be pretty funny. Maybe I'll get better over time. This is going to be my very first time, so we'll see. Make sure that you look for that. Like the video. Tell some friends there's something ridiculous about to come up on the channel pretty soon. Subscribe, ring the bell, we'll notify you. You know what to do. And until the next time I see you on Get on Target with Link, I will see ya.